So the Ornate Notebook, as I have mentioned, this has been requested several times on our Facebook group, Carnation Crafters. If there is something you would like to see as a Facebook Live demonstration, excuse me one moment, please get your requests in. We have a request post which is pinned to the top of the page. Just write in the comments what you would like to see. So it's there available for you to add your comments to. Get them in as quick as you can because we are working away in the background. Sorry, excuse me. To bring you lots of Facebook Lives. And obviously I'm not going to be here much longer because I will be off on maternity. So we are trying to squeeze in as many as possible. So Nell has just said, is this a new die set? No, I can't keep up. No, the Facebook Lives that I do tend to be revisiting collections that have already been shown. The Ornate Notebook launched back in July last year as part of the Especially For You die collection. Cheryl says, I've already got this one and still not used it. Cheryl, get it out the pack, perhaps craft along with us today, or watch the video back at another time and have a little go as well. For anyone that has made something with this, don't forget you can always post your makes with us over on our Facebook group, which is Carnation Crafters. We do love to see your designs as well. So let's have a look at this die. This is really clever actually, because you've got a nice large size die set, which I'm going to go, let me find my ruler or something I can measure with. It's here. Goodness me. So you're looking about 5.5 inches wide at the widest point, and then let's just see, 6, 7, about 8 inches tall at the tallest point. Okay, so give you a rough idea, and that's of the largest matten layer. So you get your outside framing device. We then have a mat and layer included as well. You've then got your filigree surrounds and your mats and layers. This is so beautifully ornate, so detailed. I love the florals in here. It's almost a little bit like raw ironwork, isn't it? We have this little strip here, which also has its own matten layer, which is ideal for like an index card or perhaps a recipe tuck-in or little notelets, lots of things you can include on your pre-scored lines there. Again, little flowers there to embellish the ornate top and bottom, and then you've got your little wraparound device as well, and we will be demonstrating how to use all of these. This little die set here is exquisite. It's such a handy little tool. So you've got your stitched edge all the way around, but you'll notice it doesn't have an outside cutting edge. If I just peel that away and bring that up to the camera so you can see, it's just got your stitched edge all the way around and then your punched holes all the way through. Okay, so that's lovely. What that means when we start using it on blank pages, because it hasn't got an outside cutting edge, all that's going to do is cut the holes in and leave the punch marks as well for you, which is perfect. So you can then transform blank pages and things like that into designs that will fit into your notebook as well. Having the pre-punched holes means they're all at the same level, all at the same distance, meaning everything is perfect there as well. So that's the die set, okay? We've also got, obviously, the vignettes that I have been cutting out for this, and I've got 2 ready to cut to show you how we cut as well. So this is the outer cover and one of the blank pages, and it's almost got this sort of nice worn leather effect finish, this lovely deep sort of bronzy antique bronze colour. You've obviously got the demarcation lines for not only the punch holes but areas where the notebook elements would be, both on the design and also on the pages there. And of course we have provided vignettes, so the coloured artwork for the pages, so it tonally matches in with your notebook. But don't forget, you could just cut from whatever paper you want and then include your punch holes on those. So we will start with a demonstration on how we cut these. So these are what we call our mirrored vignettes, which means you're going to get the same design on the back of the die cut as what you do the front. I've printed this on our Pro printing paper at 120 GSM weight, which is ideal because it means when we fold it like so to get that mirrored effect, it then doubles up. So I've cut top and bottom onto the black line. I'm then folding along the black line exactly like so. Okay, just scoring that down. That little cut helps me with that fold, getting that fold in the right position. And that means the front and the back are then in the same position to allow me to cut. Now I'm going to quickly spray this with a little bit of spray adhesive to join the back page to the front page. So excuse me while I do that. Just a quick little spray, like so, and then just closing those leaves together. So if you are joining the sides, remember, cut first and fold first. Okay, so cutting onto the lines and folding that line first, then put your spray adhesive in and then secure the sides together. Okay, it's the easiest way to do it. Whilst we're cutting everything, we're going to get one of your blank pages ready as well. So same thing again, printed on our 120 GSM Pro printing paper, cutting top and bottom like so to begin our fold, squeezing the paper over and making sure we've got the alignment along the black line like so. If you are designing something whereby you want to then peel apart the layers, you would just cut at this stage. You don't need to glue the paper together. But just for this demonstration, I will be gluing the paper together like so. So that's all ready to cut. Let's put my spray glue out of the way. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to be like this for the whole video, so I do apologise. It just is the time of year for it, I'm afraid. Okay, so the front cover. Now I have already cut a front and a back cover, and I'll show you what they look like. So this is what they look like cut. Obviously we've put the little holes in, the little stitch lines go in there as well, and you've got that nice rounded corner to both the front and the back pages like so. What I want to do with this particular leaf is start thinking about how you might use this as a journal. Think about how you would start incorporating this into your designs, because what we could do is take one of the matte layers, line that up, cut it through like so to create little pockets. So they're not going to be, they're almost like little secret pockets because they're going to blend in with the front and back covers. But by lining everything up and cutting it a few times, so you've got your front cover, you've got your back cover, and then cutting these as pockets, it gives you that nice little design that we can use. So to attach the die to the paper, I'm just using a little bit of repositionable tape, just making sure wherever I stick, I'm getting the sticky off on my clothes, okay, so that it doesn't sort of attach itself too vehemently to the paper. And then what we're doing is we're sticking the repositionable tape onto the die, but leaving the majority of the tape coming over the edge where we'd cut away. That then just solves any issues for tearing or anything like that, where things tend to be a little bit more sort of super sticky when it goes through the machine. Talking of the machine, let me just clear down a few of my vignettes I've got stacked up on there. And then we're going to go in and cut that straight away. Have I got any cut tidy? Possibly, yes I do. Cut tidy is a really helpful little tool that you can use over and over and over again. I'm using the A5 version, but I tend to fold it out to use it as A4 to put it through the machines. It does as the name would suggest, okay, so when we put it through, it's going to catch all the little bits that fall away from your die cut, but it also, it does so much more than that. It works as almost like an extra shim, in that it pushes that cardstock down into the die and just makes sure you get this lovely bevel finish from everything as well. There we go, so through the machine it goes and out it pops. So you see there, just by taking a section, just peeling it away from the tape that has attached, you've now got a pocket to use on your Ornate Notebook. Now we are going to be constructing this whole notebook from start to finish, so you will see how we include these pages. I'm just going to take this die that I've been using off, save my tape because I can use my tape for the next cut as well, and we might as well go ahead and cut one of the pages as well. So I'll put that in my bin next to me and just find the die. So I do try, whenever I've finished using a die, pop it back into its packaging before it goes for a little bit of a wander, as these things can do. then we're going to cut one of the pages as well. So this time I've swapped to the, not the outermost die. I don't think I've actually used the outermost die, the largest die in the pack. For any of the parts, I've used this smaller die all the way around, both for the front cover and the back cover, just so I can get the holes aligned to punch with. I'm going to stick that page down first, again in the same fashion we did with the last one, taking the tape and just sticking that into place. Now the great thing about the pages is obviously you don't have to be exact when coming to line everything up and measure everything, because it is at the end of the day a blank page. You're not trying to line it up with necessarily vignette artwork underneath. But what we are doing is including those punch holes as well. Okay, so we're taking some time just to make sure we've got an even surround top and bottom and a little bit of gap on this side. I tend to cut the pages in this orientation, so having the hole punch where you've got more of an edge of the white paper. Sorry, excuse me. Just holding that in place, because you see you've got more room then to stick your repositionable tape to hold it in place, top and bottom, like so. Okay, if I was to cut several pages, what I would do after cutting one is gently peel away the die, and I will show you this after we've finished, and try and keep that all in position, okay, because it means the next time we cut a page it's going to cut in the same position as what we've just cut this one. So again, into my die cutting machine with my cut tidy on top. Again, cut tidy just protects the back of the die cut as well. It lessens the transfer of all the cut lines that are on your plates. So it just gives you a really neat finish for your dies as well. So through the machine like so. Sam says there, hello everyone, feeling a bit unwell, so watching to cheer myself up. Hope everyone is well. Oh, well, I hope you feel better soon, Sam. I think there's a lot of it going around at the moment. Sam says, hi Hannah and all crafts out there, watching from an overcast Bognor Regis. Yeah, it has been a bit disappointing today weather-wise, hasn't it, after the last few beautiful days we've had. Kate's just joined us from Raffaland, Northern Ireland. Beautiful day here so far, smiley face. Oh, well, I hope the weather stays nice for you, Kate. So we've cut that page out. As I say, we can gently ease that away. So just take your time with this, gently peeling away that page you've just cut from the surround. Again, that can go in my pile next to me that I've got to construct the notebook with. We might, just for the sense of keeping everything together, pop another little bit of repositionable tape, sorry, excuse me guys, to the centre there, and then we're gently going to peel away the excess. Okay, so that means if we just hold the die together, Rathfryland, thank you. I'm always rubbish with pronunciations. And then we're just going to take the tape off the surround like so and pop that down. Do you see how now, once we've popped out all of the little cutaways from the die there, you've now got that die cut ready to go for your next page, and it's going to cut in a line. So you're keeping that in place, that sort of hole punch die in place to cut your next layer. Okay, I'm just going to pop that to one side with my die, because that's as much as we're going to do cutting wise for the Ornate Notebook. The rest of it I have pre-cut, because otherwise we'd be here forever just cutting things over and over and over and over and over again, and that's not much fun to watch. Okay, so we've got, what have we got in front of us? Pockets, pages, lots of pages. Let's add the page we've just cut to that as well. Give that all a little shuffle. That's the pocket we just cut. We've got a front cover, we've got more pockets, and a back cover. So lots and lots and lots here to start lining up and coordinating. Now on the pockets, you can see I've added a little bit of red liner tape. I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this one as well. And taking it along the edge, right up close to the edge, okay, because we want to keep one side open to form a pocket design. And again, just moving that around. So I'm using red line tape. It's a nice flat adhesion, nice strong tape as well. So if this is going to be used as a journal, it's going to get lots and lots of use. People are going to be putting things in and out of the pockets and, you know, writing their little notes in there and things. Red line tape is a nice strong adhesive, which is going to stand up to the amount of work that it's going to have to do. There we go. So we've got 3 pockets. So pages. Construction, really easy. The thing with journals and things like that, because they are so personal to the user, it really is up to you what you want to include and how you want to design these things, really. So it's all very well me sitting here giving you a demo with it. This is just a guide. This is just a basic guide, okay? But for my construction, we're going to go front cover, back cover, and a nice addition of pages there. We've then got these pockets that we can include on the front cover. I quite like that idea because that gives you almost like a little secret pocket that we can use. And then we'll also have pockets on the inside covers there as well. But for this first one, I want to do the cover initially, just so everything's aligned up as we go through the design. Anytime that I'm struggling to get the backing off the red line tape, all we're doing is then just burnishing that down and making sure it's nice and stuck to the cover. And then once we're happy, we can go in and position our pocket on the front cover like so, holding that in place and then peeling that tab away. Molly says, do you want to try my place name? Tyne Wild? Oh my goodness, that's probably so wrong, isn't it? Molly, I can only apologise. Iris says, I missed the very beginning. Please, can you say what paper you're using? What GSM? Thank you, Hannah. No problem at all, Iris. We are using, because we're using mirrored vignettes, this is our 120 Pro printing paper. We did a little demo on how we cut the vignettes out, so the coloured artwork out. And I've used, obviously, in Adobe Reader, high quality print settings, and because my printer has it, matte photo paper as the paper. I've also made sure with mine, I've got a new printer from the other day, and this new one likes to print in letter size rather than UK size A4, so it likes to keep me on my toes, so I made sure I changed all of those settings as well. Molly just said no, not even close. I'm guessing that was. I can only apologise, Molly. Yeah, I'm not great with place names, I'm going to be honest. I'm even worse when I've had a horrendous cold, and I'm a bit croaky, so yeah, apologies about that. Okay, so I've just turned that front cover over, and I'm repeating that process. So you've got a pocket on the front, and we're going to have a little pocket on the inside. Same thing again. Just red liner tape to stick this in place. It's quite nice having the choice in how you build a journal or a notebook like this. This could be for any reason. This could be for, you know, recipes or gardening, you know, when you've got to sow your plants or when you've got to change your cuttings and all that sort of thing. It's a nice little nil notebook design that you can go with. Final pocket going in now. This is for the back cover. Just, again, folding that red liner tape over to create myself a little tab which I can pull. Just lining that up. Oh, Molly's just said tie as T. T new wit. New it? T new it? I have no idea. Do you know, I'm probably offending most of the country now, so I can... Oh, T-new if. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I will try probably to hold off trying to pronounce place names that I really can't pronounce, because I don't want to offend anyone, obviously. Okay, last pocket in place. There we go. whenever I'm building these notebooks and things, I tend to have kind of an idea of the initial pages that I want to include and where I want to go with it. But as I said, it kind of is an organic process. It's kind of one of those things that grows with you. I will be showing you how we construct it towards the end, how you can add more pages and things like that. Even with the pockets and things, you could include them on the plainer pages too, if you wanted. Oh, Molly said yes, that's it. Thank you for the breakdown, Molly. Liz has just said, so glad you're doing a demonstration with this die, as I have it but never used it. Will do from now on. Perfect. Well, that's the idea of these little demos. As I say, they're not sort of flashy or anything like that. They're just from my little studio here at home. But it's more of a little cozy, comfy catch-up chat, and then hopefully giving you guys a little bit of inspiration on where we can go. So this next layer is the ornate element of this, the filigree element, which is designed to sit beautifully on that little pocket. Kind of gives it like a little satchel vibe, a little bit of turned leather, if you like, embossed leather design, which is gorgeous. I love the detailing in this. I think it's so precious. You've got your little floral and obviously your little filigrees and leaves and things like that. You've also then got this buckle, which is going to work as a as your little support, your wraparound, to work as your closure. We're going to stick this element down flat on the cover, but we're going to make sure we don't get any glue on this part, okay? That's really important because we want to slip our little mechanism through there. So I'm going to turn this one over. I'm going to grab some everyday glue, which happens to be Friday's glue because that was nearest me. Sorry to anyone looking forward to the weekend. It isn't Friday. I am reliably informed that today is in fact I think it's Tuesday. I have lost all sense of time. I don't know whether that's a pregnancy thing or whether that's having been quite ill for the last couple of days. Probably, to be honest with you, a combination of the two. Iris said, thanks for the info, really helpful. You mentioned getting a new printer. Can I be really cheeky and ask which one you got? As I'm looking to get a new one, I find it so confusing. Which one gives the best results? Iris, do you know what? That's a really interesting query, and we do get that asked quite a lot, direct to Carnation, direct to myself, and in group. We really aren't here to give recommendations on printers because it is personal choice. As I say, not speaking from a Carnation point of view, speaking from just a me point of view, I've always had Canon, and they've always been literally the basic models, because the thing that makes the most difference when it comes to your printing is your paper, okay? So to get this beautiful quality of colour and detail within the design, it really is recommended to go for your pro printing paper. That being said, pro printing paper is designed for ink, okay? So it's designed to work with inkjet printers, okay? I've seen a couple of people saying, oh, well, you know, they've used it with laser printers. It's not really designed for that. The idea of the pro printing paper is so that the ink sits on top of the paper rather than getting absorbed into it. So that's great for your ink consumption. It's economical in that sense. But it's also designed just from the point of view of how the inkjet printers work. Angela says, does it come with the hole punch section as the web picture's not showing it? I can't look at the web picture just at the minute, but I can show you the die again once I finish gluing, and I can assure you, yes, the hole punch is a die that is included within the Ornate Notebook design die, okay? So all I'm doing here is going along. I'm using our everyday glue on the back of this artwork, on the back of this vignette, and my glue applicator, getting into all of those little areas that would potentially stick up on a notebook design, and just adding a little dab of glue. The glue applicators are great because it means I can get into all those little nooks and crannies, all those little swirls, all those little areas without fear that the glue is going to squidge over the edge of the design. So again, notice no glue, really specific, no glue on that bit in there. I might just chance it and go for a little bit of glue on the other side. So not through that light strip, but okay in the darker area there as well. And then just positioning that like so on the cover. and smoothing that into place. Now I am going to take the time to go over this and make sure all of those curls and things are stuck. And if that means going in with a little bit more glue and a little bit more of the glue applicator, then that's absolutely fine. I'm just conscious, obviously, as we've said, this is going to be used, this is going to be handled, and you don't want any bits that are going to stick up and potentially rip. If I was making this to sell, sorry, excuse me, I might consider doing something like maybe sectioning off this with a bit of masking tape or repositionable tape, and then using maybe a spray adhesive or something like that, just to make sure every part of that filigree is glued. Angela was asking about the die set there. So here we have the die, just to show you. I will just put this one back in place. This, sorry, I'm really out of breath. I do apologise. Let me just grab a drink. Sorry, guys. This is the hole punch section. And on the front of the die design, you can see that again detailed on the front cover of the die as well. It does come with it. Really, really handy little die to have. Okay, so just going over and making sure everything's stuck in place. So just turning a little bits over, and again just rolling that glue applicator and sticking. It's just give you a nice professional finish. And once again, as I mentioned, you know, making sure that everything's nice and secure to make this a really usable notebook for whoever you're gifting it to as well. Just sticking that down. Obviously, I'm not going to go over everything, you know, I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. But as I say, if I was doing this to sell or to give to someone, I would make sure all the little bits here have got an anchor point for the glue, so everything's nice and secure. Sam says, thank you for the well wishes, Hannah. Sounds like you're struggling too. I hope you feel better soon, Sam. Thank you. Do you know what? I have been really poorly, but that, I mean, that's, you know, nothing compared to what's going on in the world, is it? But it's nice to sit and craft, and it's especially nice to have your company for an afternoon as well, because I think crafting, you can lose yourself for a little while, can't you? You don't feel so alone when we're crafting and things like that. It gives you a focus and keeps your mind active. So I think it's, yeah, a nice important thing, especially when you're poorly, to do a little bit of crafting. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be nice and stuck. So as a little recap, we've got our front and back covers. We've then got our pockets as well, our little secret pockets. There's something fun about those. So perhaps you're making like a memory book where you're going to have tickets or stubs or things like that you've saved that you can pop in the design. And then we can just go through your pages like that. Oh, guys, honestly, you lot are lovely. Pam's saying, I'm sure nobody will mind if you cut this short. You need to rest. No, guys, honestly, I'm fine. Over the worst of it now. So absolutely no problem. Where I've cut the pages, I have got a little bit of sticky where the pages are stuck together from the residue of the repositionable tape. So again, a nice little trick that I like to do is use my, I call it a cow gum eraser, but that's from art. I'm sure if you Googled sticky eraser, glue eraser, it would come up. And just gently rub, and it will take the surface of the sticky away. You feel it nice and smooth now, no sticky all the way around. Again, it's these little finishing touches which I tend to do on everything I make, even for demos on telly and things like that. It's just so you get that nice professional finish on items. There we go, a little stick. I always run my fingers over the edges of things just to feel for that stick. I'm not pushing down hard because with the cow gum rubbers, they do tend to lift the ink off the page as well, along with the sticky, I mean. So what I'd suggest is just taking them, if I find another sticky, this one has sticky, is using just a corner and then lightly rubbing. I'm rubbing it off the edge of the page onto a surface. Okay, that takes the sticky away then. I'll do that again at the top because I can feel sticky there. Just rubbing away lightly. Okay, you don't want to rub down onto the surface of the paper. We're just literally taking away the sticky on the edge. Like so. So those are my pages. A little newsreader shuffle to get them all into place. I think what I'll do now is add the wraparound mechanism, like so. Let's just see. Iris has just sent a long one. Sorry, it's me again. Iris, never apologise. That's what we're here for when we do these Facebook Lives. Is there a reason why you don't use sticky-sided sheets for the detail cuts like the ones that lay flat? Hope you're better soon. Thank you so much for all the info and guidance. It really does help a lot. There isn't really a reason. A lot of it's time, just getting things together, ready for Facebook demonstrations. And after, I always say, like, oh, you could use wild spider double-sided adhesive and things like that, adhesive sheet. I think a lot of it is I often don't plan in advance, which sounds terrible when it comes to these Facebook Lives. That sounds awful, but you know what I mean. You know, it's giving you options then, as saying what you could use in addition. If I'm doing something whereby I'm using a lot of decoupage layers, I don't use the adhesive sheet because I like to add height and I like to add dimension. So I think quite a lot of the time it gives, the reason why I don't is it gives me the option to then add height and dimension if I want to. I hope that makes sense. That was a really long explanation. Sorry, guys. Oh, honestly, guys, please don't worry. Yeah, so Wendy said that I've had this cold for about 3 days. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, it's just a cold. You know, fully tested up for everything else. Anything else nasty. And of course, you know, had all my jabs and things like that. So yeah, it's just a cold. So please don't worry. There's nothing better than sitting, especially when it's cold and raining outside, sitting and doing a bit of crafting. That always lifts the spirits, doesn't it? Easy says, hi Hannah, I received my everyday glue this morning along with some dyes. Can you tell me if the glue dries clear as I haven't opened the packet? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the glue does dry clear, Izzy. It does dry with a bit of a sheen to it. But again, if you do have one of your Calgum erasers, or sticky stuff erasers, that will take any of the glue away if you have splodged it over the edge. But again, remember, just use little bits. It's nice strong adhesive and it doesn't warp your paper as well. It doesn't have a huge amount of water content in it, so it doesn't warp your paper when you're using it. So your little wrap round here is going to be your closure for your book, and you see how it tucks into that buckle. You see how this whole thing kind of comes together now? Got this lovely closure on it. Everything feels so sophisticated and nice. So we're just tucking that in. Notice how I haven't stuck it yet. It's one of those where you want to position everything first. Make sure you're happy with the positioning. So the little point lines up nicely with the point in the design underneath. And then we're just going to turn that over. Again, nice and straight. Make sure everything's lined up. I did just let go of that, so yeah, that's just gone for a little wander. So we're just checking at every moment and lying that down. Okay, once we're happy with the positioning, what we can do is just fold it back, and we want to use a little bit of, oh, where have you gone, you little red liner tapes? I had you all out in front of me a second ago and now you've gone for a wander. Oh, where did you go? Let's grab some more then. There we go, red liner tape. Always have a stash next to me. So once again, it's one of these things where you want to measure it first a couple of times. Make sure you're happy with the positioning before you go ahead and stick. Okay, this is going to keep the back cover against the front cover. So again, just line that along, but we are going to stop far short. Okay, now that's important, of where we actually need to. If you want to add in more pages, you don't want to take the tape right up to the edge of the pages, because when you add more pages, it's going to be interfering with the tape, and it's also not going to give you the ability to adjust either. So we're going to leave that short, trim that down, burnish it into place, and then just peel and position. Okay, so just gently removing, making sure we haven't moved the covers and things around, making sure everything's still aligned, holding that in place, and just bringing that over to then just pop that into place. You don't have to include this if you don't want to. It's just a nice little effect to have your closure all attached to your pages as well. So that just slots in like so. to create a little closure on your book design. Okay, now I think at this stage I am going to add the detailing along the side to keep obviously the pages together. Excuse me. Jacqueline Ward, afternoon beautiful group. I've asked if we could possibly have somewhere to tick on Carnation ordering pages for dies we already have. I do have full collections and sometimes I purchase a few items with the intention of buying more later. I hope this happens. Jacqueline, we actually have a really simple feature that's already implemented on the website. It's called a wish list or a favourite list. You can add any of your dies that you already have to that list, and that will keep a nice log for you as you go along. I think it's on each individual product page. It might be in the shape of heart. I can't remember. I haven't looked at it recently. But you can click, I think it's a heart, to add it to your favourites or add it to your wish list, and then it keeps a record of what you've already got. So, closures. What we do have included within the die set is this little strip. I will show you where that is for anyone that may have missed it. It's in the middle of the mechanism. It's in the middle of the little buckle there, like so. What you can do is use this like a ribbon to feed from the back in and out, oops, of the holes, like so, to almost like stitch the pages together, so that runs up the side. Obviously, as you get more and more pages in, you need to add a little bit more. You can lengthen this by adding a couple, you know, and stitch it in and out. I like that because I think it matches in beautifully with the design, and having that kind of stitched edge is fun. That would be also great if you're using this as a card blank and adding in a stitched feature. Okay, so again, it's that kind of idea. However, to give you options, what we can also use are little rings. Now, before the whole feed explodes and people start asking me where I got these from, the internet is awash with this type of thing. I believe, like most things, I probably found mine on a place that has the same name as a rainforest. But I'm just going to grab a few rings of the same size. I think these are a 3/4 inch ring, and all they are little clip rings. So they've got a hinge in them and you can pull them apart. Okay, nothing special, nothing over the top with them. They're just little clip rings. Having the use of the rings means obviously you can use as much paper as you want, filling up to the size of what the ring will allow. But again, it is another option if you do want to make this into a sketchbook or a journal or things like that. Using the rings instead of a ribbon means the journal or sketchbook is going to fold, the page is going to fold open flat, which is a consideration for some people if you want to do a lot of writing in the journal as well. Linda says, how do I find you on Facebook Live? Well, Linda, if you're typing onto the comments at the moment, we are live. The time is 15:43. Oh, really, Morph? It's just chaos, this Facebook Live. 15:43 on a Tuesday afternoon. Morph's going to help me put all the rings in. Thank you, Morph. That's really kind. I'm sure everyone really appreciates your help. But we are trying to do a live video at the moment. We are trying to be professional as we can. Are you just going to sit, or are you going to actually help? Which is it? Make a choice. Would you like to make a choice, baby? Oh, Morphy bum. Come on. There we go. We'll just move it up so Morph is slightly out of the way. Wendy says, what size is the rings? I think these are 3/4 of an inch, but they're available in all sorts of sizes. Tons and tons and tons of different sizes, Wendy. So just choose whatever one is appropriate for your book. So I will go down and I'll put rings in every one. Oh. I knew as soon as I included these, the page would explode. Where can we get the rings that you are using, please? As I say, Mary, the rings are available from various different outlets on the internet. I've had mine for ages and ages and ages. I think potentially they came from the same place as named after a rainforest, but really they are available everywhere in all sorts of sizes and all sorts of finishes. They're just literally clip rings. Sorry, my thumb is bleeding as well. I'm having a bit of a disaster today. Sorry, everyone. Lots of love for you, Morphe. Okay, you being a cheeky boy? Yes, good boy. You're a good crafting buddy, aren't you? Good boy. Okay, so there we go. Rings all the way down the side. I mean, it's a bit exuberant when we haven't got a huge amount of pages in yet, but you can imagine once they're beginning to fill up, that's going to look really lovely when it finishes. Last few little details to include. So I'm going to open up the front cover, and you can see what I mean, because you're using rings, you've now got this element of whereby the pages fold flat. You wouldn't get that same finish with a ribbon. Obviously, for the sake of a Facebook Live demo, I'm not going to go in and decorate every single page, but we can go in and add some detailings. So one thing that's really key to note with excuse me guys, especially for you collection, is it was one of the first collections we did with what we call editable vignettes. So this, for example, is a little place card, a little index, a little contents page, which is editable. Any of the editable vignettes will show up as like a little blue box on your Adobe Reader, but it's really key to note, to use it to its full function, we do recommend opening the vignette artwork in Adobe Reader. It's a free to download PDF software. That then means it's all scaled properly to work together. So if you type into this, the font is correct, and also the sizing of the font will adjust to make sure it then goes to the size of the box that it's intended, okay? Again, with my little index card, I'm just going to use a little bit of tape, red liner tape again. It's all stuck together, just like so. And I'm going to include that on the front, inside front cover, like a contents, okay? So once I've started adding to my journal, it might be that I want to then include where you can find things, on what page, or who this book is dedicated to, you know, that sort of nice kind of thing. So I'm just taking off the backing of the red liner, top and bottom. If you'd like to come away, there we go, peel away. And that's just going to stick there. So you're kind of giving a little bit of added interest to that front cover, like so. Again, we've done it so that pocket could be used and utilised. Remember, just slipping things in, nice little hidden pocket. Same as on the front there, we do have a pocket on the front of the design as well, which is nice. To the inside cover, we're using the alphabets, which are designed to match in with the Especially For You collection. This one, again, is one of those editable vignettes. So I've used the letter M, and we've typed in the word memories. And this gives you a nice example of how that font looks when we come to type. So you've got the nice kind of script and scroll design that works in with the rest of the collection, and that's giving you a nice little look to the finished notebook. And then also included within that letter pack is this handy little die. So you've got the big M. If you don't want to type in, or you don't have the ability to type in, I mean, you can always write these as well, which you could do. There is a die set included which has all the letters in a cutaway, you know, multiples of letters you will use several times, which is really, really handy. You can then die cut those out. Again, this comes with vignettes, and then stick those onto the plain bands of the vignette, or also into these as well. So this one I've stuck the word wedding on, because perhaps I want to include some of our wedding photos, you know, memories, little scraps from maybe the dried flowers from the bouquet, or you know, material that we'd used for, you know, like the tablecloth and things like that, you know, just precious little scrapbooking memories as well. Monica says, hello from Norway. Hello, Monica. Just tuned in and wondered what collection you were using. Monica, this is the Ornate Notebook, which is today's deal of the day, available as part of the Especially For You collection, which launched last July. One thing that I will say about this little die cut is, if you are using it, the easiest way to keep everything stored is to keep the letters you aren't using in the die, okay, for another project another day, instead of poking them all out into well, your craft stash and then going into the lost and beyond. You can do if you've got little Ziploc bags where you could just put them into, but I do find it easiest because I can then navigate. I can say, right, I need an A for my project, turn it over and just poke the A out. Just keeping them in there is kind of handy. They won't all stay in, but it's just another little handy tip. So that gives you a little overview of how to put the Ornate Notebook together. So you've got your little buckle on the front and your backing design as well. And when we come to open, because I've used those rings, you've got your pockets and your pages will then lie flat as well. Okay, and that's then up to you for what you want to decorate. Perhaps it's, you know, recipes. Perhaps it's like I'm going to do here, wedding photos, almost like a little memory book, a little scrapbook. Perhaps it's, you know, baby's first year and you want to document all the precious little first moments and things like that, which is lovely. Lots and lots of different ways of using the Ornate Notebook. I'm going to leave it there for as far as decorating goes, because as I say, journals are such a personal thing. That just gives you an idea of how to construct. Linda said, missed the beginning as I've been printing one of my collections off and did not realise the time. Stupid old me. No, not at all, Linda. We always upload these Facebook Lives to YouTube and Facebook afterwards, so you can watch them back at your leisure. Jacqueline said, I decided to order this set as a brainwave occurred to me that I can list each collection and tick all the ones I have. More importantly, the ones I need to order. Yeah, you could absolutely use it as literally a notebook design as well. Of course, don't forget, as mentioned, I've cut the pages from the vignette artwork, but because you've got the ability to cut the outside edge and then obviously more importantly add your hole punches as well, this could be any one of your pages at home. It could be lined, it could be bullet journal pages, it could be anything you want. It's really up to you. It's nice having that ability to mix and match and choose as well. Wendy says, hope you feel better. Thank you, Wendy. That's really, really kind. So let me turn that camera around. There we go. Hello, everyone. What have we got coming up? So that was the Ornate Notebook. We have shows on Thursday. I will be back on your screens on Thursday morning with the Spring Forward collection on Create and Craft. Sorry, excuse me. So Spring Forward launched on our channel, Carnation Crafts TV, back on the 15th of March. So it'll be the first time it's been to air with Create and Craft. That will be Thursday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Carla will be then joining you for the later shows that day as well. So if you have already got that collection, tune in, because we're bringing you new demonstrations, one you haven't seen on Carnation TV. And if you haven't got that collection, tune in, because it's a really, really lovely springtime collection. I'm just looking at what we've got coming up as the next Facebook Live. Another by popular request. The next Facebook Live will be the 5th of April. I can't believe we're coming into April already. That is just crazy. And I've got listed down here the Wild Garden Stepper. So yeah, again, the by popular request one. It's going to be a little bit of a repeat. Those of you that have been asking for the Wild Stepper, we've been pointing you in the direction of previous demonstrations like the DL Label Stepper or Vintage Dream Stepper, because they construct in the same way. But because we've had so many requests, we are going to do that one as well. And then we've got more Facebook Lives following that as well. So keep tuned to our social pages for all the information. Stay safe, keep well. I'm going to go and do some more printing for the upcoming shows we have, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.